between 2,370 pounds and 4,470 pounds. That's how much the golf industry quietly extracts from the average recreational golfer every single year across spending categories most people never even think to question, spread across equipment, maintenance, practice, and coaching. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it adds up. I proved it last time with 7 traps and 44,000 of you watched. The comments all say the same thing. What else? Here are 7 more just for you, right now. Let's start with what's hiding in your wardrobe. Golf clothing has always carried a premium, but somehow the industry has turned the dress code into something far more profitable than a style guide. A branded polo from a top golf label runs anywhere from £80 to £120. Performance trousers, another £80 to £130. And tour spec waterproof shoes, £150 to £220. That's already £470 before you've even left the car park. But here's where it gets creative. Certain clubs enforce a very particular dress code, down to the socks. White only. Ankle lengths not permitted. You turn up in your usual sports socks. The starter very helpfully points you to the pro shop, and a pair of branded golf socks sets you back 12 to 25 pounds for socks. And that's the small version of the trick. The bigger one looks like this. You've driven 40 minutes, paid your green fee, you're ready to play, but your shirt doesn't have a collar. So the starter turns you away, or again, very helpfully points you towards the pro shop, where a collared polo at pro shop retail cost will be anywhere from 55 to 85 pounds. So what is the alternative? Go home? No, you pay it because you have no real choice. That is not a dress code. That is a revenue mechanism with a dress code stapled to the front of it. So quick tip, check the dress code before you leave the house, not in the pro shop queue. Now, if the golf industry is happy to charge £25 for socks, imagine what they will charge you for what's inside your clubs. Your shaft is holding you back. If you've spent any time around a fitting bay, I'm sure you've heard it. A custom aftermarket premium graphite shaft runs anywhere from £150 to £400 per clubs, and a full iron reshaft, fitting, shafts, installation, all in, can set you back £800 to £1,500. The pitch sounds completely reasonable. Your optimal flex profile, 15 extra yards, tighter dispersion. But here's the reality. The shaft you actually need is the correct flex for your swing speed. That's it. And that comes as a standard stock shaft. A stock shaft fitted correctly at purchase does the job for the overwhelming majority of recreational golfers. Premium aftermarket shafts exist to solve problems at the margin of elite performance. Problems you almost certainly don't have yet. But there's something even more expensive than paying for the wrong equipment, and that is paying for the wrong practice. This one stings a little because it genuinely feels like work and that you're doing the right thing. A driving range membership runs 30 to 60 pounds per month. That's 360 to 720 pounds a year just to walk through the door. Pay as you go, a bucket of ball costs £5 to £20 in London per session. And if you're going 3 times a week through a full season, you're looking at £400 to £800 for range fees alone. But here's what the industry doesn't tell you. It doesn't matter how much time you put in if the input is wrong. The real problem isn't that golfers don't practice enough. It's that the industry sells volume as progress. More balls, more sessions, more membership tiers. Repetitive range sessions without any structure, without specific targets, without honest feedback. It doesn't build skill. They groove bad habits faster, that's it. So in portfolio terms, you're adding capital to a losing position and expecting a different result. So you're paying to practice wrong. And if I had a look in most golfers' garages right now, you've probably also been paying for equipment to fix the practice. The golf industry sells the shortcut, not the work. And the shortcut doesn't exist. That is the entire business model of the training aid market. And it is remarkably consistent. Look in any serious golfer's garage and you'll find it, including mine. The swing plane trainer still in the packaging, the putting rail or putting mat used twice, the impact bag sitting in the corner, the weighted clubs. A swing plane trainer runs 60 to 150 pounds. A putting mat with alignment guides, another 40 to 120 pounds. Impact bag, 30 to 60 pounds. And weighted clubs, 50 to 80 pounds. One enthusiastic first season of purchases, that's easily 300 to 500 pounds. Just sitting in the corner and producing zero return. The reason they stop working isn't laziness. It's that without the proper feedback loop, without someone watching and correcting, the habit never really sticks. So 2 weeks of enthusiasm, no reinforcement, back in the corner. So before you buy any training aid, ask yourself one question. Does this build a transferable skill I can use on the course under pressure? If you can't answer yes immediately, leave it on the shelf or do not click that buy now button. The best training aid is a golf club, a specific target, and honest self-assessment. And you already have all three. Now, if this kind of thinking is landing with you, the idea that awareness beats spend every single time, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. This channel is just one amateur golfer helping another play better golf by spending less where it genuinely doesn't matter. Right, 3 more. We're already looking at £1,200 to £2,400 across those first 4 categories alone. But the industry isn't done yet. It has a particularly elegant way of generating recurring revenue. And it runs through 2 things most golfers never question: their grips and their wedges. Start with the grips. The industry guidance is to replace them every 40 rounds, which, playing twice a week through a full season, means 2 full regrips per year. So the full regrip of a 14 club set costs 80 to 150 pounds. Do it twice a year and you're spending 160 to 300 pounds annually on grips alone. The 40 round rule exists because it creates a predictable service revenue stream, not because your grips actually need replacing. The real rule is far simpler. Replace them when they go slick, when they crack, or when they lose tack. For most recreational golfers who clean their clubs and store them properly, that's at best to every 18 months to 2 years. Personally, I've never changed my grip. Clean your grips with warm soapy water every few weeks and they will last significantly longer. Now wedges, and this one is more subtle because the underlying argument is technically true. Grooves do wear down and worn grooves do reduce spin. The industry recommends replacing your wedges every season, sometimes every 75 to 100 rounds. New premium wedges run 120 to 180 pounds each, and most golfers carry 2 or 3 at least. So that's potentially 360 to 540 pounds a year on wedge replacement. The problem is that the wear rates used to justify this cycle are based on tour professionals playing and practicing 300 days a year with the same club and getting those clubs for free. So if you're a recreational golfer playing once or twice a week, your grooves are nowhere near that wear curve. A scratch golfer hitting full wedge shots daily and a 30 handicapper playing Saturday mornings are not the same user, but they're being sold the same exact replacement schedule. The pattern across both grips and wedges is identical. Invent a maintenance interval present it as a technical necessity, and make sure the solution is available at a premium in the pro shop. Now, the industry profits from your maintenance cycle, and it also profits from your technology anxiety. Specifically, the idea that whatever you're using to track your game is never quite enough. Let me start with what you actually need: the distance to the pin and the distance to the front and back of the green. That's it. That is the decision relevant information. And a quality second-hand laser rangefinder, 1 or 2 model years old, or something off Amazon, gives you exactly that, accurately and immediately, for 40 to 80 pounds on the used market. Buy it. It makes complete sense. But here's where the escalation starts. GPS watches now retail from £200 to over £600 at a premium end, with live green mapping, shot tracking, automatic club detection, handicap management, and wind and elevation data, all things that you can't use in competition play anyway. It's genuinely impressive technology, and for a golfer whose game is developed enough to use it, some of that data has real value. But for most recreational players, the watch is a pure status accessory wrapped around the same wrist that's still fighting the same slice it's had for 3 seasons. Buy the information you need, not the information that impresses people on the first tee. A £60 rangefinder and a better short game will do a lot more for your scorecard than any GPS watch at any price point. You've been sold the wrong information and the wrong equipment. And the golf industry has one final card to play, which is selling you the wrong way to fix it. I want to be careful here because lessons genuinely matter. A good coach, done right, accelerates everything. But the format that lessons are typically sold in is worth scrutinizing. Group lessons, 6 to 8 golfers in a bay, one instructor running the group. Learn to play golf for £20 to £35 a session. It sounds like great value, but here's the problem. An instructor managing 8 golfers simultaneously cannot really give you the feedback you need at the moment you need it. So you get broad cues that may or may not apply to your specific fault. You pay £25, walk away with a tip that doesn't fit your swing, groove the wrong movement, and then pay again next month to fix the problem the last session didn't solve or even created. So in financial terms, you're paying a fund manager to consistently underperform and then paying them again next month. Instead, a one-to-one lesson with a quality PGA instructor runs 50 to 80 pounds per hour. It feels more expensive, but it isn't. So find that one instructor, work one-to-one, and get on the course rather than the range if you can. That's where the real faults live. And that's where fixing them actually counts. 7 traps, 2,370 to 4,470 pounds. Not one big decision, dozens of small ones during the year, each designed to feel reasonable in isolation. The playbook never changes. Complexity creates margin, and urgency creates sales. And a golfer who never asks, what is this doing for my score? Keeps spending. So which of these 7 hit closest to home? Drop it in the comment below. I read every single one of them and answer. And just in case you missed part 1, the video is right there.